person runs for public office, that person expects the public will make observations about him. Given my background and appearance, I'm a great target for that. Let's take a look at some of the things that make me an out-of-the-ordinary candidate for sheriff. First off, I'm a former United States Army Airborne Ranger. And, of course, I have a law enforcement background. But that isn't unique for a sheriff's candidate. Unlike virtually all other candidates for sheriff, I have a strong private sector business background, having owned several successful companies. In the private sector, you either succeed or perish. The exact opposite is true in government. If people in government do a crummy job, it doesn't matter to them because they're working on other people's money and with little accountability. As sheriff, I'll bring the private sector work ethic and accountability to the sheriff's department. I'm the only candidate for sheriff in the history of Nye County who has been in radio, television, movies, and is a social media personality. I started my radio show in 2000 and was on the air for more than a decade. At the time I ended the show to pursue other endeavors, the show was on 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, heard coast to coast. I currently host the Dave Champion Show on television, which airs here in Nye County on KPVM and across the nation and the world via YouTube and Facebook. It still amazes me that by viewer comments, I know the show is seen in places like Australia, Eastern Europe, the UK, France, Italy, and the Middle East, to name just a few. I also have the Dave Champion's Liberty page on Facebook with 145,000 followers. More importantly than the radio show, TV show, or my social media presence is what my goal has been with each of these ventures for the last 18 years. In each of these endeavors, my goal has been to spread the message of liberty and reinvigorate a heart for liberty in my fellow Americans. I am also the author of the book Income Tax Shattering the Myths, which details through history, fact, and law the very limited constitutional scope of the income tax, a tax that is grossly misunderstood by the American public to their detriment. Once again, my goal is to educate my fellow Americans so they can enjoy the fullest degree of liberty. I appeared in the documentary America, Freedom to Fascism, created by famed Hollywood producer Aaron Russo. I also worked with Aaron behind the camera, vetting for him information he was sent concerning the correct legal nature of the income tax. I also appear in the 2017 documentary Grand Scam. Much of the information featured in Grand Scam addressing the Federal Reserve and the income tax comes from my book after the film's executive producer read Income Tax Shattering the Myths and was blown away by it. Like me, he wants every American to learn the truth. Let's talk for a moment about my physical appearance. I think it's safe to say there has never been a candidate for sheriff who is covered in tattoos and has a shaved head. Of course, people are going to comment on that and judge. Am I making a point by having a shaved head? Why, yes. Yes, I am. That statement I'm making is, I don't like wasting my time. Back when I lived in California, I was wearing my hair pretty short. Here's a photo of me just before I started shaving my head. Yes, that's really me. Week after week, I was sitting in the barbershop waiting to get my hair cut. One week, the wait was ridiculously long, and I thought, why am I doing this? Why am I wasting my time? I walked out of the barbershop, drove home, grabbed a razor, and I've been shaving my head ever since. How about my tattoos? Am I making a statement with those? Again, the answer is yes. The statement I'm making is pretty heavy. Are you ready? Here it is. I like body art. That's it. That's the whole big statement. I enjoy body art. Do my various tattoos make a statement? Once again, the answer is yes. About 80% of my tattoos speak to one particular subject. Can you guess what it is? If you said liberty, you're spot on. I have a lot of tattoos, so I'll share just a few of them with you today. On my right arm, it says, whatever the question, the answer is liberty. And this is a highly stylized version of the Gadsden flag. At the top, where you can't really see well because of my sleeve, it says, don't tread on me. On my hands, I have two halves of one quote by William Hazlitt. On my right hand, it says, the love of liberty is the love of others. The second half of that quote is on my left hand and says, the love of power is the love of ourselves. Perhaps you've noticed a theme, whether it's my radio show, TV show, my book, or my tattoos. My focus in life is liberty. Now, let's see now. A sheriff whose primary focus is liberty, you know, that thing we're supposed to cherish most about being an American, seems to me having a sheriff whose focus is on our liberty would be an awesome thing. Before I wrap up on my appearance, some folks have a prejudice against tattoos, and they tell you that people who have them are unintelligent. I'm pretty sure I've already put that to rest, but for those who might be hard-headed, you should know my IQ is in the top 2%. So let's revisit the equation. A highly intelligent man, well-educated, with a love of liberty as your sheriff. I don't know, that sounds pretty tremendous to me. I started this presentation by saying people will be talking about me because I'm not like other candidates who've run for sheriff. If, after all these years, you are fed up with the Nye County Sheriff's Department and you really want change, isn't it about time you elected a sheriff who isn't the same old thing? I look forward to your vote. Thank you.